What is this? A quality women's wrestling match that's been given nearly 15 minutes of fame? My God. I've yearned for this. So outside Thunder Rosa stuff, we're finally getting another women's match as part of this World Eliminator tournament to determine who will challenge Thunder Rosa's potential. Wait, damn it! Sorry. I keep getting confused again. We are now finally reaching this tournament that's going to determine who will face Hikaru Shida for the AEW World Women's Championship at Revolution. And this match was between NWA's Women's World Champion Serena Deeb, who is contracted by AEW, who beat Thunder Rosa on a house show, who at an independent show and won the title and has been defending it ever since. And the returning Riho. So yeah, Riho was last seen on March 17th and 18th, which was 11 months ago, where she had lost 2 back-to-back matches, and she would disappear because the virus got out of control, and they had to subsequently take everything away from, like, a lot of wrestlers were affected by it, those especially foreign and international wrestlers who lived on the foreign coasts. So, yeah. Luckily, they have clarified that Riho wasn't taking like all this lying down. She was working in her wrestling promotions in Joshi Wrestling in Japan, and subsequently has been keeping herself up in good shape for this wrestling match. And it was announced that she would be returning as part of the U.S. bracket, which was kind of shocking. I kept hearing rumors that she's moving to the U.S. to further be a part of the AEW brand. I don't know, really. So, yeah, this was going to be a big matchup with her facing Serena Deeb, who is the former WWE performance coach, which is telling when you realize getting fired led to the best run you're currently going on right now in the independent scene in an AEW. Ooh, I mean, like, you're holding the NWA World's Women's Championship, so I say that's a compliment. And this was nearly 15 minutes. This was a near 15-minute tournament, everybody. 15-minute match on free television. Think about that. This women's match was nearly 15 minutes. It was about 15 or so seconds away from 15 minutes. And yeah, this is basically saying we are finally treating the women with seriousness. It does not Thunder Rosa and her stories. So yeah, I'm hoping this continues the trend of the tournament throughout this. Like the women's, like, okay, so I saw some people complaining like, why are some of the women matches on YouTube? This is an injustice and yada yada yada. But I was like, they kind of botched themselves a little bit with this announcement, because they announced it a month ago, but didn't really go out to it till just about a week or so back. So they had to cut some of the matches and put them on YouTube, and Japan, and also Hikaru Shida is said to be the one producing the stuff in Japan. And thus would lead to the complication of, well, we only have a few weeks till Revolution, so we need to do this appropriately, so we have to make some matches on the YouTube channel, which could easily serve as a backlog pilot door for if you want to see this women's match on a second show, because they do have a TNT second show coming up, so they could put the women's show on there. And maybe a couple of men matches, the bigger stars in the male division to, give the boosting for that show, and thus subsequently leading to the women to take over the show. But let's go on ahead to this. Riho got a standing ovation from the 10 to 20% crowd that we have in the Daily Place. Shout out to Dynamite Download, they were at the show, and they both subsequently lost their voices. Yeah, that gotta suck. And this was a near 15-minute epic matchup. Technical wrestling, Snapdragon suplex from Riho especially. We got Riho's trademark able to bend her way out of stuff because of her size. out of pinfalls, which is both creepy and awesome because I'm just thinking to myself, how does she bend that way? And then I remember she's what, 90 what pounds? Which I'm trying to wonder how that was even humanly possible. Oh, like, yeah. But here's the thing that surprised me about this match, besides it being good and it getting enough time to get a feel for this match and get a really good quality match out of this. Serena Deeb lost. Yeah, I was surprised by that. I was thinking, like, yeah, I thought Serena was gonna show up, was gonna be in the tournament a little bit longer, and she was gonna make it to at least losing to Thunder Rosa. But yeah, because they got Britt Baker on the horizon. I definitely did think that Serena Deeb was going to, win the match and advance to the semifinals with Thunder Rosa and lead to a rematch. But now Riho winning, that was honestly a shocking moment for me because I was like she has been back for 11 months, almost to a year. She just delivered a high quality matchup with Serena Deeb. And it wasn't for a title. Like, I'm that guy that is very against the champion losing unless there's a very perfectly valid reason for it. So the only way and I get this is a tournament, and plus you could have teased the idea of Serena Deeb 2 belts, and the fact that this was clean and not with an outside involvement, which is also just as surprising. That was a major, man, I don't know how to feel about that. But then I was thinking to myself, they have Revolution coming up. Maybe we might get this as a rematch for the NWA World's Women's Championship. Think about it. Think about it. I said think, damn it. And subsequently, this would lead to a title match between Serena Deeb and Riho, which would be an awesome match since I don't see Riho winning the tournament. And then we would get, Hikaru Shida facing Britt Baker, because I definitely see that happening, whereas Britt Baker will defeat Thunder Rosa and win the tournament overall after defeating the Japan side. America must prevail in the world of professional wrestling America. I'm at least glad they're not doing the Patriot nonsense where Britt Baker says she's going to send her back to Japan and, because America. But that's just my viewpoint on that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match. Like, I was glad it got that 15 minutes it needed. That near 15-minute matchup with the picture-in-picture, you gotta factor that in, since that was their most pushed star in wrestling right now. It's not Kenny Omega or Hangman. That's really telling when the picture-in-picture is the most pushed moment. But yeah, Serena Deeb definitely was a great match, and Serena Deeb definitely was a great performer in this match. I can see why NXT probably was bummed that they had to unfortunately fire her, because Vince wants to keep as much money as possible, even though he can afford keeping all these workers he fired. Or he could have handled the layoffs a little bit better, like give them out, and they could have done it willingly since there were so many that wanted to go out. But, that's just my philosophy on that. So, yeah, congrats to Riho for coming back. Congrats to Serena Deeb for doing us an awesome match with Riho. Congrats to all performers involved. Man. And yeah, I was like, really, but yeah, like I said, I was still shocked about this. They went for technical style wrestling at times. They did go to some more of the what you would expect from a big matchup like this, but to go for this technical grounded grappling wrestling style, I loved it. I'm loving why AEW does this. Like, whereas in NXT and NXT UK, they do their old diversity of formula style wrestling, and then when they're called up, they're told to water it down because that's too flashy, and we don't want to, give the audience something to be invested in. That's just stupid. So, yeah, I'm glad Rio's back, kicking ass and taking names again. I do see her run stopping with Thunder Rosa being her block. And then we get Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker 2, which I will cover, leading to Britt Baker getting the victory over here, and then beating whoever wins the Japan side, and then fighting Hikaru Shida and defeating her, which will be an awesome match. And I do see Britt Baker holding that title for a while. I'm hoping until All Out, or at least Full Gear. But yeah, so much of quality content in this match, and so much predictions we can go with this route in the tournament. So yeah, Serena Deeb, good luck, because I think Riho might challenge you for Revolution for that title if she's eliminated. So you better hope she wins, because that at least gives you another 3 weeks off. So yeah, I say that was enough. This was Neo Reality presenting the WrestleVerse. Riho versus Serena Deeb, NWA World's Women's Champion, in the AEW World's Women's Championship Eliminator Tournament. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my content in the description below, and be sure to follow Dynamite Download on YouTube and Twitter. I'll see y'all next time, and peace, everyone. Take care.